Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, Anaconda. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way I can build a time machine, go back in time, and tell my younger self that the original Anaconda was not that good of a movie. I can only imagine being my parents when I was a kid, showing me all of these fantastic movies, and then when they ask, oh, what movie do you want to watch again, Peter? And I say, Anaconda. Just the heaviness in their hearts that would be there as a result of that. Because I very much so liked the original Anaconda, which is why I was interested in this movie. But instead of talking about the 6 things that make a movie great, I'm just going to share my spoiler-free thoughts on the film. Now, first and foremost, there is a misconception with this movie. This is not a remake of Anaconda. This is a movie about remaking the movie Anaconda. So in many ways, it is completely a different movie, while also being similar in that these people are being chased and killed by a giant anaconda. And I was a little leery when I saw the casting for this movie and thought, okay, they're trying to make it a comedy, but this movie really hinged on it being funny. And in my opinion, it just wasn't. Which is crazy, because when you hear the names Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, you think to yourself, wow, that's comedy gold. But it certainly did not feel that way. In my opinion, there were 2 really funny scenes in the movie, and one of those was in the trailer. Everything else about this movie was just random and wandered around aimlessly, with this underlying idea that people in Hollywood start making movies but don't have the ending figured out until they're almost all the way done with the film. And that's very much so what this movie felt like itself. Look, it's not lost on me that they're trying to be cheesy in this movie, and that's not the problem. It's that in that acting performance, it seemed like they weren't even trying. It really felt like dull and thoughtless performances, and overall was just a really poor film. Also, I watched the trailer after the fact and noticed that there were several things in the trailer that didn't even make it into the final cut of the movie, but they were funnier moments than what we actually got. And so all in all, to me, this movie felt like a gigantic flop. Now, the basic stats for this movie is that it's an hour and 40 minutes long, but you feel that entire runtime because it just is so dull. There is also a lot of profanity in this movie, and the majority of it is using the Lord's name in vain. It's been a long time since I've seen a movie that's used it that much. There's a mild bit of action and violence, but honestly not that much. So the rating this movie caught is primarily because of profanity. And I think this wandering around aimlessly feeling that this movie had was also the result of random subplots and characters being introduced and then barely seen and then exited really fast in ways that held no significance at the end of the movie and did not matter throughout. So all things considered, I have to give Anaconda a 2 out of 10. In my opinion, this movie was a huge waste of time. And I absolutely cannot recommend going to see this movie in theaters. As cheesy and silly as the original is, I honestly think you're better off watching that movie than trying to give this one a shot, because I thought it was horrible. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Anaconda, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.